Some recent information has come out about Jakob Ingebrigtsen and his training after he appeared on 2 podcasts in recent weeks. This information gives an insight into what the world's best does on a daily basis, and we're going to break it down in this video. But firstly, if you somehow don't know who Jakob Ingebrigtsen is, he's a 20-year-old Norwegian middle distance runner who has run 3:28 for the 1500 metres and is 11-time European champion. And alongside Timothy Cheruiyot, he is the #1 favourite for gold in the 1500 metres in Tokyo. And he also has 2 pretty fast older brothers who have ran 3:30 and 3:31 in the 1500 metres. Firstly, we're going to break down what he said on a podcast last week. Normally he runs 181 kilometres per week, which is around 112 miles during the winter season. And he says he has been running over 100 miles a week for many years. Between ages of 9, 10 and 11, he was running between 120 and 140 kilometres per week, which is around 70 to 85 miles per week. Towards the end of primary school, he was already doing morning sessions and evening sessions, and by the age of 13, he was going to the physiotherapist every day after school. He has considered himself a professional athlete since the age of 13 and says much of his day-to-day life since then has been centred around doing his job well. And he has never skipped a running session that his father has set him since he was 5 or 6 years old. And since the age of 10, he's been conducting lactate tests during his interval sessions. He says there is nothing in his life related to running that is directly fun. It's all about maximum effect and being as good as possible. And the main driver for the reason he runs is to win. One of our followers kindly translated a Norwegian podcast where Jakob went on to say that his easy run pace is between 3:45 and 3:55 kilometres, and he only does a 20 kilometre long run. And on Mondays he puts spikes on and does 200 metre all-out sprints, and on Wednesdays he puts spikes on again and does 100 metre all-out sprints after his easy runs. And Jakob believes that everyone should wear vaporflies as much as possible to enable them to run faster, even within training. Recently, his brother Henrik Ingebrigtsen posted a video on Instagram where he stated that he'd done 30 laps of the track, which suggests a 12,000 metre session. Based off most articles in the past, the typical distance for the Ingebrigtsen threshold session was 10k. Now this has seemingly increased to 12,000 metres, and the 3 most popular sessions previously were 25 times 400 metre threshold, 10 times 1k threshold, and 5 times 2k threshold. We can now assume that this workout was a larger version of the latter 2, being either 12 times 1k threshold or 6 times 2k threshold. The Ingebrigtsens are currently training at altitude in Sierra Nevada, Spain, where they seem to do a mixture of track work and running on the treadmill, as well as some hills and miles on the roads. They are in fact notorious for doing a lot of their workouts on a treadmill. They have also been known to do some pull training, but as you can see by this video, I'm sure it's not very serious.
Third place!
To the best of my knowledge, Jakob's 180 kilometres per week is mostly spent doing double threshold days as well as hill repeats, which is usually 2 times 10 by 200 metres with jog down recovery. Other than the sprints and spikes on Mondays and Wednesdays, the Ingebrigtsens generally control their workouts with threshold and hill repeats until they get closer to a race, where they may do some race-paced 300 metre reps or other specific intervals at 1500 metre pace. We have no definitive information on when they do strength work, but we can only assume that they do a solid strength session at least 2 times a week, with the occasional bit of core, stretching and mobility more frequently throughout the week as well. And that is all the recent updates we have on the Ingebrigtsens training, and if you want to check out a video where I did the Ingebrigtsens training for a day, check it out via the link in the description, and also let us know how you think Jakob Ingebrigtsen will place this year in Tokyo.